Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. We're carrying on our sandbox testing, and this time around I'm in the M53, M55, so I'm going to do an hour's worth of games in this Arty to see the difference between the current, well, the sandbox iteration and of course what we know to be the standard one at the moment. I'm just going to have to close the door because my washing machine's just gone onto cycle. Yeah, silly me, forgot to close the door because it does make a hell of a racket. Well, Ensk is not the best map for Arty, I'm afraid. In fact, it's one of the reasons why I've blocked this map on all of my accounts, because it's just dreadful to play. It's just too small. There's just too many places where you can be seen, and look at the CBR being an absolute twat by blocking me there, because that just makes it much easier for the enemy to work out where the hell I am. I'm going to park here actually, right next door to the cap circle, but hopefully I might be able to get shots on the enemy. I'm loaded and rounds out. Well, some hit points off that one, but not a lot. We'll see if we can damage some of these guys out in the field. Now I have put the improved rammer, the improved gun lane drive and the improved vents on this Arty, so it does load a lot quicker than standard. I should have done both. It looks like these guys are interfering with each other, but we've got a Wizzy 120 turning up. Rounds out. Well, I stunned one of them. The shell landed behind. Okay, let's see if I can get some more damage on them. We're down by 3 tanks at the moment, so it's not looking a promising start. I'll see if I can get that Manticore. No sign of the enemy tracer yet. So I presume he's actually elsewhere. Rounds out. That's a direct hit, and I stunned both of them at the same time. And one of them's gone down, so I've picked up a massive amount of stun assist off that one. I just need to take out this Manticore. Not worried about the leopard in front of me actually, although he is actually fairly close. Manticore's running because he knows it's in trouble, and I'm almost loaded. I'll see if I can catch this Manticore as he goes across. Rounds out. Yes, I did. That's given him something to think about. I'm going to change position. Okay. I'm going to move over. Now I might get spotted when I'm doing this, but they've left the field, which means the field is now free for me to move up without being seen. And in fact, actually, I need to get out to the field because we've lost all the tanks in the town, which means our cap is about to become under a lot of pressure, and the enemy's going to be looking for me. I'm loaded. I need to get as far north as I can. They're in the cap area. They've stopped out of the cap area, which means they're coming after me, and they found me. Okay, there's not a lot I can do. I'm going to take fire, and yes, it's the Manticore. He obviously wanted revenge, and he's chasing after me. There he is, and yes, he gets... Actually, it's the leopard who got me in the end. Yes, I thought that Manticore would have a boner for trying to kill me. They only have one Manticore, so it must have been the same one. But after splashing him while he was on the move at full speed, I sort of suspected that he wouldn't be too happy with me. So not a lot of damage. There's only 2 left on my team. Our Manticore, and well, he's the last one. So he's all alone now, and that's it. He's out the game as well. So Ensk, not a good map. The enemy Arty was a GW Tiger. Now I'm going to be continuing the testing with the M53, M55 for another hour. And as soon as that's up, I'm going to try the Conqueror gun carriage for an hour. And after that's happened, I'm going to pick another Arty and do that for an hour as well. So I'll be doing some thorough testing on some of the Arty, one after the other. There you can see 584, that's all I managed to get in that game. And yes, I lost credits, 8,000 credits on the game. The higher the tier, the more likely you're going to lose credits now with the new changes. But that wasn't a particularly good game anyway. So let's start another battle. Okay, we've got a battle and it's on Minsk. And North Spawn. Right, okay, well South Spawn actually, depending on which way you look at it. Yeah, South Spawn for us. Okay, right, well, I think in this game I'm going to be doing a bit of travelling because I think it'd be interesting to see what sort of damage we can do to the enemy from over on the west side of the map. It is quite a long way to go. This isn't a particularly fast Arty, but because it's based on the pattern tank. Oh, we've been requested to platoon, but oh, it's only because they are looking for artillery support. Shouldn't have knocked that tree over, but there you go. They know that vehicles are going over this side anyway, so it's not as if it's unusual to see something knocked over on the way over here. Just need to be careful from now on. And we're safe. Okay, so we're in this area here. Now, this is, I think, as far as we can go, because although that building is there, we don't really want to go too far over because then they might get spots on us. Okay, we've got an IS-7. I'm going to select the second round for him after this shot rounds out. Direct hit for 353. Now we're loading the second round. I think when it says 2.6, 2.4 and 2.1 that's the alternative loading time if I switch shells. Okay, I'm adjusting because he's moving forward. It's going to be a bit difficult. He's headed straight for our super conch. Okay, can I get a shot on him? Yes, I can. Rounds out. Okay, no stun, remember, but I think the the carousel is in the way. Is it a carousel? No, it's that column actually. So we're loading another one of those rounds. In fact, he's killed the ISO. I've selected the alternative round, the penetrator. Let's see if I can get this Jaegeroo. He's crossing up over the line. He turns around and goes back. Big mistake because he's now going to take that round. Direct hit. Okay, now I've got the penetrator round, the next round, which is the arm piercing. So if my teammates actually get sight of this Jaegeroo, and I don't think I've got any teammates nearby, so, well, other than the convoy who's over the far side, so that guy is going to be headed for our cap. I can see trees being knocked over, so I think the enemy tanks are moving straight down the centre on the east side of the map. Oh, now we've got the T-30, in which case T-30 rounds out. Misses him altogether and hits the ground. That's the problem with armor piercing rounds. Even if they're fully dialed in, you've still got a chance of getting poor RNG. Now we know that these enemy tanks have basically broken through because there's nobody watching them. And all I can do at this point is wait for somebody to spot them and see if I can get a round on them. I'm almost loaded. 3, 2, 1, and oh, big reticule bloom at exactly the wrong moment. And yeah, I'm having to adjust, which is changing the orientation of the vehicle. He's there. Just went through there. May have been a bit too late. Okay, I'm going to change the orientation a bit more so the center line is more over here. We've got a Death Star. Okay, well, we will select the third round, the arm-piercing one, straight away, because we should be able to go straight through this guy like a knife through butter. But I've got one standard round, and before I can even shoot it, he's taken out of the game. Okay, what have we got over here? T95. I can just about hit him. I've just got to be dialed in. There you go. Rounds out. It was near him. It did stun him. Now I've got a guard dog in terms of the UDES, who will give me warning if the Jaegeru gets close. If he does, I may have to start adjusting and firing at the cap area. I'll mark this as my target. Bad news for him is he's doing that. He's pulling back because he knows he's under fire. They are capping. Okay, I am going to have to adjust. Okay, moving. Can I get a shot into the Jaegeru? There he is, and we want the standard rounds. And we've got the T30 as well. They both got stunned. Okay, I'm just gonna hit these guys as well as I can. Keep the set keep the cap reset. He's gone. Okay, so it's just the Jaegeru. And he's in a very silly situation. I'm going to load the second round next. Rounds out. Well, I did get a reset. Only one capture point though, because he did get hit. And I am going to get this guy, if my teammates can keep him in sight. They obviously lost him. We have won this game now, actually. In fact, actually, the T95 is visible in the centre, and he's underneath the bridge. Okay, I've got the special round in, and he's being killed. Let's go back to here. The gun's swinging round on the turret. And the Jaegeru has backed off down here. I'm loaded. You can see the switch times for the various shells. Can't see the Jaegeru yet. I would like to switch to the armor piercing, but no, I'm not going to get a shot on him at all because he's actually gone into that yard. And he's just killed our UDES 16. I've got no shot. Red line. Yes, there's no way I'm going to get a shot on him. We don't even know where the enemy Arty is at the moment. Oh, now we do. There you are. Hello. Can I introduce you to some HE? I'm sure I can sell you some HE. Oh, well, somebody else did instead. Oh, that's disappointing. I was looking forward to that shot. Now, we know he's in that courtyard. Will he try to come out? I'm going to switch rounds to the other. And you see how quickly it loads. It does load very, very quickly when you switch rounds. Okay, he just killed one of our teammates. Will he come out? He's actually now receiving fire from an M53 and everyone's turned up now. There's no shot for me on this. Look at the overhead, we can see, yes, he's right up against the building. There's no way. Absolutely no way I'm going to get a shot on him unless he moves a little further over. No, no shot at all. He'd have to chase that Progetto in order for me to get a shot on him. And I think the 5120 is going to get him now. Yep, that's it. End of game. And we've got a victory. So we've tested the quick change, and it works very effectively actually. It's a very quick loadout or change of loadout, and that can be useful. But I think actually it's the values that they generate, these shells. They're not that good, and of course Quickie Baby did point out that the values of these shells are not correct. Now obviously this is one of the points I made in my previous videos, because you know in one of my videos I actually did hit a Tortoise in the rear quarter with a 203mm shell on the Paris map. He wasn't that far away, in fact almost within visual range actually. He was too busy with other people to actually turn around and deal with me, and in fact actually the enemy wheelie found me and killed me instead. It was an EBR 105. But yes, I fired an armor-piercing round into his rear quarter, and it did no damage other than the critical hit. It didn't pen at all. Now, a 203mm round would have gone straight through his track, straight through the vehicle, and come out the other side. It's a very, very big, high-caliber round. I mean, obviously, the 183mm round on the FV4005 would have no problem whatsoever. If we just check the ammunition as well right now, we'll have a quick look. I don't think we can do it by comparison, but just look at this round here. 550 average damage, 314 penetration, shell velocity of 528. So okay, shell velocity is important because the shell isn't moving that quickly compared to the shell from say a 183, which is almost doing double that. But let's have a quick look at the 183. And we will do that. And there's the FV4005. We look at the ammunition for this one. Okay, right now, armor piercing, 1,150. Now, this is a smaller shell than the one that's coming out of the M53, M55. Its penetration's 310. Now, that's much more than, I believe, the armor-piercing rounds on the M53, M55, and the shell velocity isn't that high. I thought it was about double. In fact, it's 830, but it does 1,150. Now, the 203mm shell from an M53 should do about the same from an Arty, because obviously it's got a reduced velocity, not by much, but it's got a much bigger shell. It's you're looking at a difference between a 183 and a 203. Yes, you're looking at 20mm difference, an extra 2 centimeters. But that would make a big difference on the enemy. So I think, you know, this is a wrong figure here. Likewise with the alternative high explosive on the 203. Here you're seeing the HESH rounds are doing 1,750, and the same for the new high explosive rounds on the HESH bomb, although it does only do 92 penetration with standard HE, whereas it does 230 with the squash head. But the point is that, in fact we'll adjust that because we can play this later on. The point really is that it should be doing the same values as... it should be doing the same values as the 203 for the armor piercing. At the very least it should be doing that, and maybe for the high explosive rounds should be doing say maybe half of this value, and about the penetration of this shell, 92. It should basically have the same, almost the same parameters as this one, because it is a bigger shell and it's got more explosive. It's traveling at less velocity, but it should still do about the same damage, because this is a smaller shell than the one that's being fired out of the M55. So again, Wargaming, you've got it wrong. You've actually got the figures wrong, and you should apply the correct figures, which are the same as that HESH barn. Instead you've got 550 instead of 1,750. Instead of penetration, well, penetration actually is about the same, funnily enough. So penetration was the same, but the muzzle velocity is slightly less. It's 528 as opposed to 830. But the damage is way out. This is only what, half the damage, 1,175 compared to 550. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. How can you justify a bigger shell doing less damage to the enemy? Yes, it's 300 meters per second less speed, but it's a bigger shell. It should literally carve its way through the enemy tank. And you're basically saying, oh, it doesn't. It does less damage. That's ridiculous. So anyway, we'll carry on with the testing. Okay, we've got another battle, and it's Minsk yet again. But I suspect it's North spawn this time. We'll see in a second. Oh, no, it's given us back exactly the same spawn as we had in the last one. Well, just to be a little different, instead of going to the west side this time round, I will go over to the east and see if I can hit the enemy from there. If obviously I can't get good shots on them, I'll try and go to the west. It's a long trip though. All depends on what that other M55 does. Okay, he's turning and going this way. I'm going to go the opposite way. And the trick when you get up here is not to disturb the car, because that actually gives them a clue of where you are. Backing into the corner, and we're in. So they look there and they see, oh, there's a car still there, so obviously he hasn't moved in. And yes, we've got a Bobject. He's coming out this corner. Thank you very much. Nice. We'll select the second shell for the next shot. He is still there. I wonder if he tries to blind shot me. Probably not, because it's just outside his view range, so at this moment he's not going to get anything. I will focus on this guy. Oh mama, we've got a T95 a little further away. Now, can I get a shot on him? Hoping to. We're loaded. Rounds out. 297 off the second shot. It did hit the frontal armour. Okay, he's decided to come up to the statue. The monument, I should say, not the statue. I think it's the monument to their war dead. Okay, we'll give him one more go. Almost loaded. I always hate it when the battle assistant does this to you. It's not good. Rounds out. Explodes on the ground in front of him. Okay, this is better. You see, Battle Assistant always tries to raise it. If you get the one that obviously is paid for, or the version, the other version, then it doesn't try to raise the Battle Assistant. But if you ever got an object in the way, it tries to raise you up like that. And now I can't see the guy, but I'm almost loaded. Okay, we've got a Type Hive Heavy in the centre. I'm not sure I can actually get a shot on him, but we'll give it a go. No, I've got no shot. The building's actually in the way. But the T95, I do have a shot on him, so we'll give it a go. He'll take that round, and I'll select the standard. Rounds out. Direct hit. Okay, coming back here. The Bobject is still there. So I go down this side. Wait for it to reload. We've lost the west side, so this is a lost game. We're 7 tanks down on the enemy, not going to recover. Already lost our M53, M55 over there. Bobject hasn't moved up yet, but the Jaegeru has. I haven't been seen yet. I wonder if that T95 is still there. Don't think so. Oh mama, we've got a Progetto on the way in. Can I get a shot? Probably not. There's a kink in the road, which means I can't get a shot from certain angles. Okay, we've got a Panzerkampfwagen 7. Line him up. Oh, terrible shot. That was down to me. I led him, but I was trying to let it dial in so I could get it accurate. Okay, there's the Progetto. They are now capping. He's in the cap area, so I can't do anything about it. Okay, there's the Bobject. He's actually gone round the corner. Not a lot I can do about that. Can't see any of the other targets other than the 7. Oh, there's the other Progetto. Nope. Nope, can't see him. Oh, got a target at last, but it's too late, and rounds out. Well, that's the last damage I'm going to get. Say goodnight, Gracie. I'm not going to reload in time. Hello, Mr. T95. Remember me? Here, have a kill. Whee! Straight past you. Oh well, not a lot I could do. The killer was the Type 5, who I couldn't see. I was hoping I could get behind the T95 and actually then shoot back at the guy who was chasing me. At least I got a shot into the K91. Okay, so that was an utter failure, but I must admit, losing sight of that Bobject meant that I couldn't get hits on him. But I don't blame my team for not covering that quarter. They'd lost so many players over on the west side that it was obviously going to be a loss. 7 players lost over that side, and that included one of the Arty. So 1024, I'm not going to complain about that. Best Arty on my team. But it's still well down on what I normally get from something like this game. But I think that you could put that down to the fact that the players in this game were not very good. Would have made a loss anyway of 15. Was it 15? Yeah, 15,802. Very bad. So that's the end of this one. As you can see, I've got all the equipment, all the improved equipment, and I've got the Coca-Cola, which I normally run. But even that just brings down the load time to 31.48. So you can see it's not much different from my current load time for this Arty anyway, because I do have, I think, the improved vent and rammer, but I don't have the GLD. So I will start another battle and see you in a sec. Okay, we have another game, and this time it's mines. Now, if it's North Spawn, I'm going to have a try at Nigel's spot, which, as many of you know, is C1. And I discovered it quite a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. And it's a very good spot. Wargaming actually made changes to the map to make it more obvious, and they increased the size of the walls, or the cliffside, that stop me from, or try and stop people firing into the centre of the map, the confrontation point. We are North Spawn, so I am going to try it out and see if I can do as much damage as I used to be able to do. Round started. Let's get around there as quickly as we can. Skirt the water. Slows you down a bit. Oh, I'm not the only one's going over here. It looks like other people have actually worked out that, yeah, Nigel's spot is very, very powerful. Okay, he's going to park in front of me. This is not the best situation. Rounds out. Oh, looks like a lot of damage done there. And that guy was taken down. That was the M53 120. Okay, I've got a red line here, so I am actually... Oh, no, he's actually... Now, this is not ideal, because normally I would persuade anyone to say, don't park near each other. I'm going to try and move forward, actually, because I'm just a little too close. Okay, he's aiming at the Fit 60 TP. I have got a shot. Let it dial in. He's somewhere along this line. Rounds out. That did any damage. Okay, we've got a couple of really juicy targets to fire at, but the problem is I'm Yeah, he's already there as well. He's noticed this. The only way you can get shots on these guys is to back up into the water. Okay, let's go again. Let's see. They are on this corner somewhere. I think we just saw Arty in the usual spots. No sign of the Jaeger in the centre. There he is. Hello. I've got a red line, which means the cliff is in the way. But not for you, sunshine. He's backing up. Rounds out. Okay, I just saw Tracer. Okay, sorry I'm not commentating at the moment. Trying to do a bit of counter battery. And that's a direct hit. And I've just wiped out the T92. So that's him out the game. Now, where is the other ones? I think they're in the bushes. Okay, we've got a M53, M55 and a GWE100. They are losing this one at the moment fairly badly. I'm pretty sure he's in this spot area. Normally I go overhead mode. Oh, now that shouldn't have happened. My mistake. Go to overhead mode. That's better. Much easier to spot. And there he is. Okay, he's in the spot. Rounds out. Bad shot there. He's hiding in the corner because obviously... Oh, and we now worked out where the other one is. I think he's actually behind here. Yes, there he is. Rounds out. Oh, that was a big one, and my shell would have hit. We've just got this guy to kill now. He's gone, and we don't know where the last one... Oh, he's gone already. So that's it. And that game was victory. I only got the one kill, but it was the T92 HMC. So Nigel's spot does work, but obviously it was overused on that occasion. The Russian gentleman in the Object 261 obviously heard of it, and he's been there. It's funny because other players actually do sometimes queue up to use the spot because it's so effective, and it actually does annoy the enemy tanks that they can go to the hill, but if they do, they're going to be hit on the south approach to the hill, and that really persuades them it's not a good place to be. In fact, you're far better off going over to the east side of the hill because you're less likely to get hit there. I would have made a profit on the standard account, but only 7,000 or 6,500 credits, so not a great battle. Only the one kill. The Object 261, where are you? There you are. Yes, it's a Russian gentleman, Collier, but he obviously knows what he's doing. Okay, so that battle worked. Let's have another go and see if we can get another one. Okay, we've got another battle, and this time round it's Malinovka encounter. Now the thing about Malinovka encounter is there's always some light tank, who thinks he can do an end run around the west side of the map and come up behind you. And that's true for both sides, actually, really. So the trick is not to be in a position where you can actually be countered, or at least to have some warning that the enemy is about to hit you. Since it is an encounter battle effort, we're up the hill to start with. So I'm going to motor south as quickly as I can. DD Mal over to these bushes at the back and sit directly in the bushes, because of course there is a bush in front of you which does give you some concealment from the enemy. Just want some concealment slightly from the side to cover the points on that side of the body. Rounds out. Okay, now we're going to switch to secondary ammunition, I think, after I've stunned this T95. There's a tortoise over there. I'd like to see how he reacts with an armor-piercing round. So we'll select armor-piercing for the next one. Okay, well, tortoise over here. Oh, let it dial in. He's been tracked. Rounds out. Before my shell arrives, but I get the clang of a round hitting his vehicle. Okay, we've got a Striv 1030. Now we're going to hit him with a 203mm round, which should overmatch his armor so comprehensively that it gets a perfect hit. He's obviously turning to run away. Okay, he's run away. What have we got up here? Remember, we've got an armor piercing round. So we're going to hit the front armor of a T30. Now I think that did actually land right in front of him. It looks like it did because there's a hole in the ground. But we're going to load another armor piercing round, see if we can take out one of these two guys. We'll try the M451 this time. He's pulling back. Changing position, but he's moving horizontally. I'm going to go to the T30. Ready, and rounds out. Oh, he's moved. Another explosive hole in the ground. Or expensive hole in the ground, rather. Okay, we got a Foch trying to approach the cap, which is not a very good idea. Now I'm loading back standard ammunition. Okay, target. And the standard B is getting rather close to me. I'm going to switch to him because he's too close. I need to put some hurt into that area. He's just behind the building. Rounds out. Bad shot. It hit the building rather than him. We are up on the enemy in this one. And there goes the convoy. Okay, quick look up here. The AMX M451 is behind the windmill. He's side scraping. We'll probably demolish the building rather than him, but... Hello. He popped out to take a shot. Rounds out. Standard B's coming straight for me now. There he is. Target. Lost sight of him. There he is. Loading. He's gone. Threats out of the way. We've got an object 704 over here. Spotted by our teammate who was on the ramp but is now been gone. It's the T49. Okay, we're almost ready. And work out where you're going. You're there. Oh! Well, it would have landed next to you. So, okay. He's gone. Who's next? T54. Where are you? Come in, car T54 lightweight. Of course, we know that their Arty is somewhere over on that side. The T49 appears to have gone into residence behind here. We'll give him a wake-up call. Rounds out. That sounded close. Okay, lightweight. I keep hitting the C key to save my reload. Of course, on with these settings, without the mods, C key does nothing, so I have to remember to keep hitting F8 instead. Is he still at home? Rounds out. No, he's not there. Okay, so he's gone back. And there's the 212A. Thank you very much. Still loading. He's gone. So it's just the T49 now. One of our guys needs to get into the cap. I suppose it could mean me, actually, for that matter. Might as well. Oh, they found the T49. He's over here. Waterside. I suppose that's as good a place as any to hide. See if I can get some damage on him. Rounds out. Oh, he's moved. And he's making a beeline for me. I'm going to get back into the bush. He's directly ahead of me and he's on the way in. Am I going to be loaded in time? Probably not. But we'll give him a go anyway. He's trying to come in for the kill. 2, 1. Round out. Well, it hit him. But he's seen me and he dies. Okay. Now, yes. Okay, I'd accept that high explosive round did work. It stunned him. It tracked him. And it stopped him momentarily, enough time for my teammates to act. Now, I'd say that the tracers are actually allowing wheeled vehicles during a battle when other tanks are so busy that they hadn't really got time to deal with wheeled vehicles and light vehicles, that would enable them to get to Arty and kill them during the battle, and that would change the course of the battle. From that point on, it would be an easy win. Well, there you go. 1,200 hit points of damage, but nowhere near the damage that the rest of my team did. XP wise, about mid-table, yeah. Nowhere near what I would normally get. I'd be up here normally, as I said. That's normally how much damage I would score in a battle. Okay, that one worked, but actually, did I check the credits? Okay, so I would have made a loss on that one. Yep, would have made a loss. Okay, we have another game, and this time Pearl River. I think it's the first time today we've had Pearl River. And we're on the north spawn. Okay, there are not many good firing positions to start off with in this game. We're the only Arty in an HE test and Arty test. Opposite numbers are 212A, and it's a Russian again, so we'll see how each other does. He probably knows the exact spots that I'm going to go to. I'd say he probably knows it. At the start of a battle on the Pearl River map, the best positions to be in is up here on the top of this ramp, because at least then you can aid the tanks that are trying to get into the village and defend against those tanks that are trying to steal the village from us. Okay, we're ready to go. The gun's round. We're dialing in. We're almost loaded. Waiting for the enemy to turn up. Oh, enemy tanks have been seen in the rear. I'm tempted. And there's the first one. Rounds out. Big hit. The SDB one didn't like that. course, the STB is the prototype of the Type 74 main battle tank. It's the kneeling tank, the one that kneels. Oh, enemy Arty! Thank you very much for revealing your position. You are now somewhere in this vicinity, but it is a 212A, so I will have to wait for you to reload. He's got a 30-second reload, but we saw him fire. I saw exactly where the tracer came from, and since there's only one enemy Arty, I'm going to do my best to see if I can take him out. Saw the tracer give away his position. There he is. And rounds out. I have been spotted. So enemy Arty is possibly going to try and counter me. Of course, he's got a 30-second reload. I fired that one in, but I think I may have fired it a bit too short. But I'm going to try from round here and see if I can hit him again. There's the last shot. Holding on position. I'm expecting that he's probably in the same spot. He might not have moved. Not all Arty players do move. It looks like this one might have. Yeah, I think he's moved. He knows that I was trying to counter battery him. We'll give him that round anyway, and I'm moving position. Okay, we're going to move these bushes over here. Not a huge amount of protection, but it's enough. I'm going to try and focus on these guys down this route. Still got the high explosive rounds. Come on guys, load. Pay rise, pay rise, pay rise. And he's gone. Rounds out. F8. That's it. Most people, when they see that somebody's actually targeting a tank that they're after, it does give them kind of reassurance. Oh, and he's gone. There's a T-30 somewhere over here. Where are you? I think he's a bit lower down. Well, he was lower down. Okay, we've got an enemy tank over here. No shots. The gun swung round. I have just about got a shot there. Rounds out. It stunned him. And I've got some stun assist off that. I've got an enemy tank over here. Object 430. Reloading. F8. He's fighting it out with the Conqueror. He won the fight against the Conqueror, but he dies. We've got over here an Object 263, the Stalin Sandal, no longer being used. Rounds out. Move forward. Thank you. Took a direct hit. I actually aimed ahead of him. I thought, no, that was a mistake, and he moved forward and took the round. The enemy Arty's been spotted. He was in the same vicinity. He didn't lose any hit points, which means obviously that he didn't get hit by my counter battery. He's gone, and that's it. Game's over. So not a great game for me, but I did get a fair amount of stun assist out of that one. Let's have a look at the end of battle results. Second class tanker. Well down the table. 997. Even with the stun assist bumping me up, 693, half what this guy got. He was obviously having a whale of a time. High caliber and Confederate. How many shots did he fire? Well, 19 shots. He got 18 direct hits and 16 penetrations. He's a Russian player, so he's probably an expert. Maybe a Unicum. Super Unicum. Actually, I wonder, can we get his rating? Oh, I can't believe that. Must be a reroll. Must be. 62% victories, 35 battles. That's all he's showing. Must be a reroll. With that sort of damage from an STB-1, it is a very good tank. I did mention it during the game, actually. The STB-1, it's a bit of an OP gun tank with a nice British gun, the 105mm L7 rifled. One of 3 prototypes built for the Type 74 main battle tank. It's got very good DPM, that tank. Did I make a profit? I would have made a profit, but for consumables, so yes, so that one would have worked. Let's start another. Okay, we've got another game, and this time on Mannerheim or Arctic region, depending on what you consider the name of this map to be. I'd still call it Arctic region, I'm afraid, because basically it is in the Arctic. It's up near the area that is between Finland and the Soviet Union, as it was. The Mannerheim line. Mannerheim was not German, he was Finnish, a general. Came up with a list of fortifications, and those fortifications actually caused the Finns, caused the Soviets rather, to actually build the KV-2. They needed something with a howitzer on it that could actually knock down the bunkers, because their tanks couldn't make any impression. The KV-1, T-34 and all the other tanks just couldn't defeat the bunkers. Now we've got a light tank making its way down the south. And, oh, we've got a Leopard up here in the heights. Not going to be dialed in time. But I'm going to put a round in there to give him a wake-up call. Rounds out. That direct hit. That definitely hurt him. Okay, what have we got? Over here we've got a Udas down by the coast. I'm tempted to go for the Udas, actually. Oh, it's a Foch over here. Okay, we'll have the Foch. Oh, he just got hit by my fellow Arty. The other Arty on my team is a batch at 155.55. We've lost sight of all the other ones. Oh, no, there's the Udas. There's the Foch rubber. He's back in position. Rounds out. Yep. He's starting to hate Arty. It's funny, actually, in one of the games I played recently, the player said, I normally hate Arty, but I love you under these circumstances, because I actually managed to win for the team, or rather, I saved his neck from the enemy Arty who was trying to kill him by going in and shotgunning the Arty right in the face. Rounds out. Direct hit. Hit the front of the vehicle, which is where the engine is. Normally I'd like to aim at the rear compartment, get the crew, knock out the gun. That T-95 is badly wounded. Getting requests to shoot on him. He's now in Arty cover. Can still hit him though. Here we go. Rounds out. 192. F8. Have to remember to use F8. He's very low on hit points now, that guy. I'm going to put another round in his direction. Just checking the west side. We've got several tanks defending that side. This guy's very good at Arty safe. He is a Russian player. Rounds out. Another 92 hit points from a splash. The Jaegeru's dead. Okay, we've lost sight of the T-95. Over here we've got a T110E5 hiding behind that corner. He's Arty safe there, but this Arty is not Arty safe. In fact, he's very unsafe, and he's about to get... Yeah. Well, that did not work for you. How is your gaming experience? Brief. Can we get a shot on this E5? I've been spotted. Rounds out. It's a T49. I'm definitely going to die. He's already killed the other Arty on my team. Not a lot I can do. My teammates come back to try and help me. The enemy team has still got an Arty, so I have to move. I think that T49 was in reload, which is why he couldn't do anything about me. T49's down. There's only this Conqueror, the Super Conk. We're going to dial in and see if I can fire a round down him. Rounds out. Only 115 hit points. Now, there's one thing Quickie Baby was saying, which is probably true, is that tanks like the Super Conqueror, if they make the adjustments to the HE, will become invincible. Because once they're hulled down, there won't be much that can destroy them. There he is. Hello. Can I introduce you to some HE special delivery? Rounds out. Landed too far in front of him, but he is low on hit points, so I don't think we're going to worry about this. The Udes is worrying though. That's Mr. Udes who saved me, and he's gone. So thank you to the Udes for saving my life, giving me an extended experience. Came back to try and kill the T49 after he killed my fellow Arty. And thank goodness T49 has a long reload, because he just didn't have a shell in the breach to be able to do something about me. Okay, 1,257 hit points of damage. There's my teammate who actually did get a kill in the game. And of course, special thanks go to Mr. Udes, which is this gentleman here. Simkaz, are you? Was it Max Simkaz? Can't send him a message, which is... we ought to be able to send messages in the Sandbox. It's not on that you can't say thank you to somebody. Anyway, off we go into another battle. Okay, I was about to go into another battle, but I suddenly realised that I've actually played 7 games in the M44 and 7 games in the M53, M55, so maybe it's a good point now to stop and use the Conqueror gun carriage for a while, and then the Object 261 after that. Okay, we can see the average damage 762 for the M44, off the M53, M55 1128. Now, as I said, normally I'd be doing at least double this damage in any of these games. That's easily way down on what I would normally get, around about 3,000 hit points mark, maybe 2,500 to 3,000, so well down. This one I'd normally be getting at the very least about 1.5k, maybe even 2k of damage. And so getting 762 is a bit of a letdown. Let's have a look at the statistics I think it's if you go over the individual vehicle, there you go, pops up. You can see in this one my Win 8 rating, well, Wargaming WTR rating, which obviously is no relevance. You can see the average damage 1128, average assistance 857, average experience 521. It's well down on what we would normally get off the normal server. Again, if we go to the M44, average enemies destroyed 1.75 off. The other one that didn't say that, 0.5 destroyed, 1.75 off this one. Average damage 762, which is down on what we've done before. 712 is the average assistance, and average experience 499, down on normal. I think these figures speak for themselves. The fact is, it's not just the fact that the Sandbox is different from the normal server, but the fact is these figures are well down on what you would normally get on the main server. So if they put these figures into effect with the changed shells, with the change to the tracers, I'm afraid Arty players are not going to get the same amount of damage and experience as they normally do. And as a result, a lot of them are going to say, well, is it really worth playing this game anymore, because we're not getting the enjoyment we get. So yeah, I think Wargaming is about to shit themselves in the foot in a massive way, and they're going to lose a lot of players, a lot. And most of them are paying players, because they pay to have premium time, they pay for vehicles, and so I think a lot of these people will say screw it, and a lot of them will probably sell their accounts on eBay or whatever to recover some money and then go off to a different game. So yeah, I think Wargaming, you're about to lose a lot of customers. So it's your mistake if you do go ahead and make these changes. I don't think they're going to work. They certainly are not are showing much reduced figures for all the play I've seen so far on the Sandbox. So I will now start a new video for the Conqueror gun carriage.